Okay, we got a new belt on here. We want to make some adjustments and we don't want it to grind gears and stuff. The way the book tells you is from center point to here, they give you a measurement. Maybe it's a 6.5 or something like that. But to achieve that, this right here is a bolt that goes through, and there's a flat idler behind it. The belt's under. You loosen it up. It's 5/8 out here and 11/16 inside if it's the original one. You loosen that up and you'll pull this down, and whenever you pull this down, you're moving the pulley down, and it pulls, you know, on the belt, so it'll actually pull this down. So you get this to wherever you want by pulling this down. Okay, now next thing is, the next one they give you is the brake adjustment. Also from the frame up to here, it may be 5.5. So when you push the pedal over on the other side all the way down, that tells you how much travel this is going to go, and they give you a dimension there. And what you got to do is have the brake pedal pushed and adjust this to where it's 5.5 inches or whatever your book's going to tell you. How do you adjust that height, the lower height? You adjust that by the brake rod underneath.
Okay, it's too dark under here to show you, but there's a rod back here that goes to the brake, and I don't know, somehow you can see him from it. Anyway, that rod right here, there's a jam nut and then this turnbuckle thing. This is how you lengthen or shorten the rod to make the adjustment. Back here is nuts for the parking brake. Not all these are the same, but they still got a nut to adjust it. So that's how, adjusting it right here is how you set how far this pulley here is going to go down. Okay, now over here is what I was talking about with the brake lever. The more you pull this down, the more it pulls this pulley down. Okay, and when you pull that pulley down, it makes this pulley go up. Or pulley, yeah, the brake lever go up. And that leaves you with less movement. So that's why I like to have just only as much tension as I need over there. That way I just barely pull it down. That gives me as much travel as I can. Now if I was only going a little ways and hitting the brake, I would have to make an adjustment on the brake and loosen it up, because that wee little bit of movement, I would never hit that sweet spot to be able to, if I went up a hill and started up and wanted to coast back down or something, I wouldn't have that coast. That's why you want some movement here. Okay, all the way down, and adjusting with the brake rod is how you do that over here. So now, that adjustment, you see that just went down. This is where you make that adjustment with the brake pushed down over there. The reason it's important not to go too much is if this travels too far, see this tab right here that's supposed to be a brake, it'll start actually pulling this belt back down and getting it into the pulley and making it grip. So your brake adjustment is one of the most important ones when you're trying to make this so it'll shift and not grind the gears. Get that up. See that much travel. Like I say, they give you a measurement from here to here, and you set that with this. I usually just leave it as loose as I can, pull this down until I have this just start to come down. I like to have it maybe, you know, no more than a 1/2 inch lower than what it starts. Okay, and then we're going to do the brake adjustment. Hit that brake. If it goes too far down, then you're going to have to tighten the brake adjustment up so that this doesn't travel as much. You're okay if it travels as far as it can without pulling this down. Or the book will give you a measurement from the frame to here. But see, that's touching, but it's not pulling down on it. And then let up a little slow. See, all this in between here, you still have, you know, looseness. So if you was to coast back down a hill or something like that, that's why you want your pedal to travel a good ways, not just a little bit, because that gives you all that play room in between. Okay, now that tab, push that down. It's easy to want to bend that tab to make the adjustments. Use that brake rod down there. Don't bend the tab. Resist the urge to bend that tab. There's no reason to bend it. It's all into that. Now, okay. The other thing is these belt guards. Okay? That belt guard goes around there, and whenever you take the tension off that belt comes off around that pulley. It comes around that pulley, and when it hits the back of that belt guard, it makes it come out even, because without the belt guard it'll blow out in one spot and still touch somewhere, but with the belt guard it makes it blow out. And then the belt doesn't do all the jumping and stuff like that when you got the guard on. I think a lot of times when people put Predators and different things in here, they do this and then they don't have the belt guard on there, or they don't put it back. This belt guard, that guard really helped, because without the guard, the belt, well, here, you know what, I'll take a video of it running and I'll show you what it does without the guard, and then I'll show you what it does with the guard. Okay, hopefully you can see this. I'm gonna start this up. That's without that guard on there now. And what's the difference? You can see how the pulley, or the belt comes off the pulley different. Belt has the potential to even jump off. That's why you want to run them belt guards, so that doesn't happen. See, that belt's still kind of touching the body. See how it's flapping it and making the belt jump? Okay, so let's look at it now. Now, you can see right now, see how much calmer that belt is? That's all because of that belt guard. See, that belt is just stationary. That's how important them belt guards are. If that's jumping up and down and all, they can still get traction and try to move. So you can see the difference in that belt.